What if I told you that you could get most of one of these Garmin Fenix 8 47mm with the AMOLED display, you could get most of one of these for around 15% of the price? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you. Now in today's world, budget version smart activity tracking style watches aren't usually the best. There are just too many compromises that have to be made in order to get them designed, built and distributed at a certain price point for them to be any good. Or are there? This right here is the KOSPET Tank T3 ULTRA 2, and at time of recording this is available in the United Kingdom of Englandshire for £150. Now this is a well-built, well-specced, very reasonably priced sports activity tracking smartwatch that if you are on a budget, you absolutely should be considering. All right, so here we go then. Let's jump into some details on here, and I will do some close-up bits and pieces for you. So what have we got? We've got a AMOLED display. Impressive, £150 with an AMOLED display. It is in fact a 1.43 inch Gorilla Glass touchscreen AMOLED display, which is in a stainless steel unibody. Now the display is colourful, vibrant, it's responsive, it's touchscreen, you know, there doesn't seem to be too much lag at all. It's a good thing. The negatives about the display, there doesn't appear to be an auto brightness adjustment. We're building to a price point. We have to compromise on things. So now that we know that, we can manually adjust the brightness depending on the environment we're in. So for example, I'm indoors, I've got the brightness turned all the way down. If I'm going outside, it's currently very sunny at the moment, I would turn the brightness all the way up so that I could see the screen, particularly when I'm out running. I've got my sunglasses on. You'll see this in a minute. I'm out for a run, sunglasses on, I can't really see the display because I haven't got it turned up enough. So keep that in mind. Let's jump into some battery testing right now. You'll see me out on a run as well and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump into that. All right, Thursday morning, it is 7:15. And we're fully charged, ready to go. So let's start this off. Day one, get rid of this, put that one on. Here we go. Okay, we're coming up on 4 hours into day one. We started at 7:15. It is now 14 minutes past 11, so coming up on 4 hours, and we are at 90%. We are at 90% on the battery. 10% of the battery has been used in 4 hours. I've done a 3-kilometer walk first thing this morning, tracking GPS. The rest of the time I've been here in the bat cave. It's been connected to my phone, so I've had notifications and all that kind of stuff coming through. So 10% in 4 hours. Yes. Next step now, I've got a little gap. I'm going to go for a run, so we'll see what that's like out on the run. I do want to try and connect to my AirPods so I can listen to some music. I'm not sure how to do that. I might have to read the manual or try and figure that out. But anyway, the important thing for today is get out for the run, see what it's like. I'm going to take you with me and we can see what's what. So I'll see you in a minute. I just need to put my runners on and we'll go. Quick change, ready to go. Let's get the run set up, see how long the GPS takes. I've actually got the screen brightness turned down. There doesn't seem to be an auto adjust on here. Right, outdoor run. Tap on that, wait for the GPS. Still waiting for the GPS. Come on. I'm outside. Oh, we are good to go. Right, tap the button. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Out and about. It's an overcast day, but it's still fairly bright. Not bright enough for sunglasses. I'm not going to show you the screen while I'm out because I haven't got it set quite right. You won't be able to see it on this, even though I am using the Action 5 Pro. Hopefully it's not too windy as well, it's a bit breezy out.
I'll show you we'll talk about the screen, the AMOLED and the display and adjusting that when we get back. But for the minute, out using it as a means to track activities, in my case a run. Hold on, I'm just going to drop off this windy bit. 2 seconds, be right back. Okay, so tracking a workout. There's a sensible amount of information on the screen. Again, I'll show you this when I get back. There's more than I need or want. I don't care at the moment. There's certain things that I do want to know. It does give me that. It's also giving me more than I need. But that might suit you. I'm on a route that I know fairly well. Well, no, very well. So I know the distance. And so far, we're all good. What else can I tell you about it? Sports activity tracking smartwatch. It's tracking an activity. And it's doing it well. For £150. Thank you. Okay, last little bit from me while I'm huffing and puffing at you. I'm about to do a little GPS test, like accuracy distance test. We're coming up on a spot that I've measured previously. Is 1 kilometre from my house. So I'll check in with you when we get there, tell you the distance on the watch, and then we will see if it accurately adds 1 kilometre by the time we get back. Let's find out. Okay, 1 kilometre from home, 3.64 on the watch. So by that, we should have 4.64 roughly when we get back. Let's have a look. Okay, we're just coming up on home. 4.66, 67. 4 point, I don't know. Can you see that? Oh, 4.68. 4.68, so 40 metres discrepancy. That's all right.
Well, good morning. We're into day 3 now. It is 7:58 on a Saturday morning. Battery is at 27%. 48 hours, 27% left. I'm off teaching this morning, then I'm coming home, going for a run, and Zoe and I are out for the rest of the day with some friends of ours, Claire and Ross. You've seen them before in a previous video. And we'll be putting this watch through its paces against some big hitters. I'm not convinced it's going to make it through the day, but we will check in and see how we go. Okay, time for a little battery update. So it's been a minute since I last checked in on this thing, and quite a lot's happened since I spoke to you. We were out on Saturday, the battery was doing fine. I wasn't sure if we'd make it through the day. Then unfortunately, Zoe got taken ill and we had to have an ambulance ride off to the hospital, and we spent about 8 hours in there so that she could be cared for and get her all sorted. It's all fine. She is home, we are home, and she's recovering. We're all good. Pretty scary, but we made it through that. And I just want to take this very short second to say thank you to the staff at the hospital. Like, if you're a member of the NHS team, how you do what you do with the resources you have available to you is mind-boggling. Like, I don't know how you do it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This is the 4th time I'm trying to record this. You got her out of a very sticky situation, and we got her home. So thank you for that. If you're NHS, I have so much respect for you guys for what you do. Thank you. Onto the watch. So we made it to the hospital. Zoe was taken off for a brain scan around midnight-ish, 12:15 I think it was. I know that because I looked at my watch. There was 2% petrol, 2% on the battery left on the charge. And then when she was wheeled back, I went to look at my watch and it was dead. Now, it was 1:15 in the morning. I know it was 1:15 in the morning because I had to take my phone out of my pocket to check the time because the watch was dead. So at some point between her being wheeled off and brought back, in that around about hour and a half maybe, the watch died. So not too bad. Let's give it best case and let's say it died just as I lifted my wrist to check it. So off the back of that, we made it around about 66 to 70 hours worth of battery. However, it is comparable with my old Apple Watch Ultra 2. I used to get about 3 days out of that, so we can get 3 days out of this one. So you're only going to be charging it once every 3 days, assuming you are using it for normal stuff, smart notifications, you've got the display on, you're tracking workouts, you're using GPS when you go for a walk or a run or a bike ride, and you're doing that most days. You've got all your notifications and all that kind of stuff. So if we're using it as it's designed to be used, then allow for around 3 days. Not the 12 to 15 that is spec'd on the website. I think in order to get that, we probably have to have everything switched off. So no heart rate, no blood pressure, which it can check on, no blood oxygen, no stress, no sleep tracking, like all of that kind of stuff, no smart notifications, just the display's turned off. You're not going to use it like that. That's not what it's built for. So plan on needing to charge this up once every 3, maybe 4 days if your usage isn't quite as heavy as mine. Pretty good, could be much better. But like I said, in order to build these things to a certain price point, there has to be compromises. It's a £150 watch and you get 3 days of heavy usage out of it. Take that as a win. I like that. All right, so we should probably talk about the user interface of this watch, and it is very similar to something that if you're used to Apple or you're used to Garmin, you will very easily be able to navigate your way through this. It does come with a little pamphlet with some instructions on, but honestly, you don't need that. It's pretty straightforward stuff. We can navigate through with the touchscreen, or we can use the buttons on there, which then leads us onto the app. So you do get an app with this where we can see a little bit more information. We can see it in a much bigger place, and we can check on things like our sleep tracking. Now, if you're an Apple fan and you've used Apple sleep tracking, you might recognize this little format here. It's very similar to that, so familiarity is good. We've got things like it will check on your mood. I'm not sure how it does that, but it can. We've got stress levels. We've got the usual heart rate monitoring, which is okay. I mean, wrist-worn heart rate monitors are never super accurate, so just use it as a guide. Don't get too worked up about if it's not bang on. And of course, moving on to the GPS side of things, we have, says on the back of the box here, we've got dual band and 6 satellite positioning systems. We have an altimeter, a barometer and compass with 24-hour health monitoring. That's that heart rate, blood oxygen, bits and pieces that I was just talking about. Plus, we also have over 170 different sport modes. Many things to choose from: cross-training, gymnastics, street dance, square dance, Zumba. Is that still a thing? Tap, leisure sports. What's leisure sports? Tai Chi, frisbee. Who doesn't love a game of frizzer? Kite flying, hunting, paragliding, fitness, gaming. So when I fly my drone, when I'm practicing flying my drone on the simulator, I can track that as an activity. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, back into the GPS side of things. So this has a trackback setup, very similar to the way Garmin does. You are out on a trail, you've gone for a walk or ride or something like that. You maybe get a little bit lost, or you're not sure and you want to work your way backwards. This has what's called a trackback function, where you can just literally follow your route back to the starting point. Durability. Is it durable? Well, it says on the side, I don't know if you can see that. Let me hold that up to there. Rugged design. Does that mean it's durable? I don't know, but it allegedly can handle hot and cold environments. It's waterproof, down to 5 atmospheres. Okay, a 580 m water resistance rating on a watch means it can withstand water pressure equivalent to a depth of 50 meters. It says this is generally suitable for light swimming, showering and splashes. However, it is not designed for activities involving deep or prolonged water submersion. This thing can also take a bit of a beating in the gym. I know, because I have given it a bit of a beating in the gym and it's looking pretty good at the moment. There's a couple of little scratches on there, nothing too bad, but I bang this thing into the rig, I bang it into the rack when I'm putting the dumbbells away, that kind of stuff. It gets sweated on and all the kind of usual gym stuff that happens to it. So It can cope with the rigors of gym life, which is good. It's an activity tracking watch, so we want it to do so. So well done, this is good stuff. Now, just so we're clear on something here, KOSPET did send this watch to me and they have asked me to review it, which is exactly what I'm doing. But all thoughts and opinions of it are my own. You know me well enough that I'm gonna tell you how I think it is. They've not told me what to say. So what's missing then that we could do with? Well, there's no NFC technology in here, so that means we can't load our credit debit cards onto it and use it for contactless payment methods. That's a shame, but at the end of the day, just you've got your smartphone in your pocket, or hopefully you've got your smartphone in your pocket, so that doesn't really bother me that much. It would be nice to have, but again, we're building to a budget, so we've got to make some compromises. Let's come on to the information we see when we're doing an activity, and we have got, okay, so top of the screen, we've got the current time, which is very small, can't really read that. We've then got our heart rate, and to the right of that, we've got our heart rate zones. We've got our pace, kilometers per hour, and our distance, kilometers, and total run duration. We swipe up. We've got total calories, total steps, cadence, stride length. There's no means to, that I can see, there's no means to edit these screens to show me the information that I want to see. I feel like there's a lot on this little screen and I don't need to see all of that in one go. Like, I just want three things. I want my total time, total distance, current pace, or average pace. And then on another screen, maybe my heart rate zones. I don't need all of this in one go. It's too small. Maybe in a future software update, they'll give us the ability to edit that. I hope so. But, you know, this might be what you need. It's not missing anything. It's just too much for me in one go. Okay, that's enough chat from me. Watch this video next where you can find out how you can use artificial intelligence to write your training program for you. All right, as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.